welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2277. I'm your host, Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me a super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support be greatly appreciated. Alright. Weather today really changed around. Doesn't seem to be any trailing today. Like they just gave up. I mean, there are planes in the sky, but they're not leaving persistent trails for some reason now. Guess they did enough spraying for a bit. So now no more haziness. Maybe a little bit left. But yeah, I mean, you can barely tell if there's anything there. It's like slight haziness. So yeah, whatever they deposited there in the last few days, it's kind of spread out and you can barely see it. Alright, so it's just a beautiful day. Everything is really bright and sunny. I was on the balcony smoking a bit and was like just that summer feel already. Rosemary plant is enjoying it. Birds are enjoying the bath. And the water. Oh wait. I don't know if they're not taking a bath just yet, they're just drinking now. Right, so it is Thursday, the 1st of May. It's March. It's Thursday, the 1st of May, 2025. Temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. I mean, that's a worthy summer's day kind of heat. And I am here in my shorts and on my sandals, so yeah, makes sense. Like long trousers in this weather is like just not pleasant, so right. 39% humidity, 10 kilometers an hour wind, 0% precipitation, 14 at night. It's gonna be a warm night too. Just like a typical summer's day. So it's like an early midway springtime summer's day. Yeah. And it will get a bit cooler according to the prediction. 23 tomorrow, then 17 on Saturday, and then 11 on Sunday. Jesus. With rain and all that, so I think they're gonna like aim for a rainstorm or whatever this weekend. And then it's gonna stay a lot cooler. According to the prediction, at least. I mean, we'll see if that actually happens, though. But that is that would be a pretty abrupt temperature change, not very pleasant. It will create some headaches. At least with me, it will. Right. Anyhow. Oh, warm day. Still gonna take the coffee. Let's hope I don't get overheated, because that is what typically tends to happen in the summer. But I haven't had like a heat rush from it just yet. So, cheers. Anyway, yesterday turned into a pretty interesting show, I thought. So maybe I was just a little bit scattered. So all the trolls were all unbanned. But I mean, yeah, whether trolls will get unbanned or they just start making new sock accounts, it doesn't really matter too much. They're gonna get in my face anyhow. So I'll live. I'm used to it. Right, and of course the hint that could lead to understanding the non-local holographic angular manifestations of the celestials. Though I haven't actually dug far enough into it just yet. Gonna have to talk some more about it and watch some videos. Not really eager to do that kind of video watching just yet. I'll get there. Some interesting, more other developments coming out of like the whole Trump presidency, what Kennedy's doing and all that. And so it gives the feel that they are starting to accelerate a little bit. It's getting more interesting, gradual. So yeah, that's just kind of steady in a way. Oh yeah. Yeah, finished that A Discovery of Witches review. Because I finished that series. And I thought it was really interesting, although there were just some things about it that are just kind of weird. And there's like a weird moral dubious thing that's going on, which is like quite logical really with the subject of like vampires being involved and all that. So yeah, I don't know. It's not really flowing today. Maybe I should drink some more water or something. I might be getting slightly dehydrated during the mornings, because it already gets pretty warm in the morning when it's weather like this. Maybe taking a sip of water occasionally. Yeah, I could go with the mint tea, but that's also very warm. Let's cool down a bit. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about today. taking a bath. Right. Yeah, one weird thing that's apparently going around, I almost forgot about it, the Trump administration, is that, well, words going around that basically Trump's joking stance towards Canada of making it another American state has like played into the hands of the worst party ever, Trudeau's party. And so they basically voted those guys back in, which, like, after bullying Trudeau away, they embraced them again, so it seems, which is ridiculous. And seems like everybody thinks they're boomers or something. That's what's going around. I mean, I don't know really what to think about it. Like, could be true. Yeah, wonder how long that'll last. Alright, also going around, supposedly Trump and Zelensky now made the deal, the supposed mineral deal. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't trust that. Yeah, at this point, but we'll see if they're actually going to keep them to their word this time, Ukraine, because they just seem highly volatile and unstable and just lying all the time and even bragging with it. It's ridiculous. So, but I mean, if that worked out, I'm very glad, but I give it very little chance of holding. Like, the energy, the stance of it, of Ukraine, Zelensky and all that, like, it hasn't really changed. They're still pretty nuts. So I don't know, we'll see where that goes. Right, so there goes the sort of news report summary of things. What the fuck? Is that real? Jesus. Okay, that's deranged. Okay, let me get a little irritating subject. Oh, how dare they? I'm just seeing this, like, Meta's AI will engage in graphic sex talk with kids using Disney voices. What the fuck? So, guess their AI is pretty fucked up. I think Mark Zuckerberg might want to do something about that if he wants to keep his image okay. He can seriously openly acquiesce to that. It's weird. Oh right, one thing I almost forgot. One thing that's kinda good news, I guess, is that the official apparatus of the Dutch government, like one of those institutes, that is like, they are globalist. They have now actually done the research and have admitted that the nitrogen policy that they've been burdening the farmers so much with, that it is literally provably useless. Like, it doesn't actually, like, doing the things about it, what they're trying, like making farmers stop farming, it technically doesn't even help when you test the hypothesis or you like simulate it. So they literally not even doing anything. Like, it has zero result. In fact, it's insignificant, which is what, by the way, a lot of people have been saying for a while now, for years. And so they have admitted it, which is great, because maybe now finally they're just gonna leave the frickin' farmers alone with that shit. Because we need the farmers here. We're gonna need them to survive. Like, especially if we wanna secede from the EU, if we wanna get away from them, we're gonna need them hard. So, because that might happen. I mean, everybody has a hard-headed, because it's been said forever, like, oh, just get out of the EU, get out of the EU. Dude, I could imagine that even if there is like some, like the Forum for Democracy here, the populist right-wing party, the new one that's really, that's actually really open and on par with a lot of things, like keeping track of geopolitical events, everything. Very outspoken, even with alternative history, which is really interesting that a political party would even go there. Or people in it, and allow them to do that, basically. What was I gonna say again? God, I hate. What were they doing? What was the point? Yeah, if they would get in control, they have talked about seceding from the EU. But I bet that even if they try, at first they would fail doing it. Like, really trying, but then, like, there's gonna be, like, bureaucratic obstructions. Like, all of the EU, all of this group and how they operate is all about bureaucracy and just unreasonable obstacles. They function like almost like a corporatized cult in that sense. And I bet it's not gonna be easy to even get out. Like, abruptly. Like, it will just be like, no, just no. Like that. Crazy shit. And it's gonna be probably more complicated to get out of it, and you have to really put a lot of effort and research and lawyers and shit onto it. And I mean, they already have, those people are already like up and about and helping out, getting involved in alternative media and all that. So it could work. But it's not gonna be quick if that would happen. And let's see them actually get in power. Because I think there's already really sophisticated vote rigging and all that going on to just disable them robotically through the algorithms and whatever they've unleashed upon the voting system when this happens, to basically ensure that they do not get a part in the government. Even though there are a lot of really dissatisfied people that are oh, the government is totally fucked up, and anti-vaxxers, COVID victims, tons of Dutch people. Maybe even half or something. Maybe even more. I don't even know how much, but everybody's sick of it. Like that. It's not strange to have that posture. Or to bring up a conversation about that. Everybody gets it. Mostly. And when those people are probably gonna vote for this group, because this group is the one that's never swayed, always held fast to their specific political party standpoints and views, and never messed around, and faced a lot of crap from just doing their presentations and all that, exposing crimes, exposing satanic and pedophilic crimes and shit, which unfortunately also have gone on in this country, just a whole other bunch of countries, through creepy, shady Secret Service things. And I sort of had a sniff of that when I was younger, unfortunately, and it really fucked me up in the sense that learning that that's actually happening. That really messed me up. Because I didn't want to believe that was real. I was yeah, that's just spooky horror fantasy stuff. But unfortunately, it wasn't. And that really was that sort of assassinated my normie, as it were. That's how you could say. Because none of that was out there. It wasn't listening to somebody that talks about that sort of shit. No, it wasn't being talked about at all out there. But I kind of went sniffing around for obscure things and secret things because I was just curious and just wanted to expand my understanding of everything. Right? Esoterica. There was no esoterica talk out there that was any good back then. Back then in the 90s, it was all just hippie shit and UFO convention style talk. And that's really just kind of not really dynamic. Those people don't really have a really deep framework of understanding or a good ability to explain it. In my experience back then, it was they just did their talk. One way of explaining it, and they didn't really know how to answer questions about it. But I mean, that has all changed a lot in the last 30 years? Yeah. So yeah, the internet age has certainly broken open that can. More esoterica, more deeper explanations, lots of it. Unfortunately, also a lot of really crazy people on top of that, because just like me, in a way, there are going to be people out there that are going to learn about it that can't handle it, and then they go crazy from it. They get aggressive type disturbances. because they learn about things and then really it starts to shine through that is actually real, but then they can't give it a place in their worldview, and then like something snaps. That's like a literal trigger. That triggers like aggression, like a sort of defensive aggression. You could compare that to like the moment in the first Matrix movie when Neo's told what the reality really is, and then he's like, no, I want out, like, help. That kind of response. Like, when somebody truly can't handle it and they get confronted with something, that's the response. And then once they blotted it out, they'll literally forget about it. Like that, they will lose awareness that that was real. Like, I've had that process. Like, sort of like a compartmentalization effect. It's purely protective. Because there's certain things you just don't want to put together with everything else, the rest of the spectrum of reality, because it's just like you can't. It unbalances everything. Like, for example, horrific type of like child torture and shit. Just even putting those words together like makes me like feel regret, because it's all so terrible. But that sort of thing, like, it really disrupts the picture that of like a benevolent, just God. And I mean, that's the purpose of it too. And if you are capable of handling it, accepting it, putting it in the bigger picture, and then God is still stronger, then you will be able to explain like it's a contrast thing, and like everything that can happen will happen, and all kinds of things, to order to still give it sort of balance, even though it is uniformly unbalanced. But for a one-on-one relation type feel with God, like, no, you can't really trust him and he's really loving, that something like that does actually exist, can be extremely disruptive for the comfortable connection that you can have like that. And for some people, they need that comfortable connection to be that stable. Because without that, the world is just way too brutal. And I mean, psychologically, the world is unbelievably brutal now. Like, way harsher. In a very refined, sophisticated, manipulative type of continuous aggressive stance, like really getting in your business and like sneaking in, like, and it's like continually happening, and that aggression is just so difficult that I totally get that people like really just need to focus on that feeling of, oh, now God knows what he's doing, and like there is a balance and I'll be okay. And then things like horrifying reality shit that's happened, yeah, that can mess that up. Like, it's a psychological war that's really raging heavy, and it is heavy, and people are being tested whether they can handle or even deal with it at all or not. And for me, it has been very testing, because I'm actually one of those people that can't handle the particular horrifying shit with children. Like, that's something that it brings out like a really terrible kind of robotic, vengeful shadow out of me. Like, that I do not know how to give that a place. Like, I can't do that, because that like would absolutely destroy my life, even unleashing that. So it's always been in a way just a frustration of justice for me. Because even like learning about it just made me, that first time, like I had to like suppress going berserk, because I was like in the middle of like going berserk, and then I'm like, let me out of here, let me out of here. Like, they didn't ask me why, but it's like, otherwise I might have just started trying to kill them. Just on an intuitive level, like it's so unnerving for me, like it just makes me like, destroy now kind of thing. Like that happens. And in order to not let that happen, I have to like really put all my force in holding back. Right, and that is part of the reason why you don't see me like harping on or like, the satanic child sacrifices, because yeah, that sort of thing does like kind of draw attention logically, but I mean, I can't. It's like the language of Mordor to me. It's like, no, don't do that. Like I know it's happening, but like, you can't put that on this table. Anyway, hello, Gaining Wisdom. Good to see you, man. Good rising. Right, so yeah, how the hell do I even put what I've just been talking about in a title format? It's all very psychological and esoteric about like being able to handle things. Because I mean, you can't handle the truth it is like the number one esoteric essential of like the psychological war that is happening. Like the depths of what actually happens, people have gone way too far beyond all human reasonable limits with their evil, and now everybody is getting exposed to it. And where before it's like the evil would like really ensure that nothing would come out, because it's like that's so dangerous that everybody will just immediately rush after us and just strangle us, kind of thing, like the berserk effect. Now they've gone to the point somehow where they like desensitize themselves to it, and they're actually like just confessing it and like using the inability of people to handle it as a weapon against them by just confessing it. It's like using the sin, using the darkness to make people run away, because that happens. People are like hanging in a group and they're like talking about just funny stuff and like they're enjoying themselves, and then some guy gets in and just like, oh dude, I just saw this torture video. Like, yeah, people will either say get the fuck out of here, but with a lot it will be so dirty, so painful that just the spirit's just broken and just immediately walk away like, I don't want to be here, like this is done. That's what happens, and they're using that effect, or whatever is using them is using that effect, inability of people to handle it, as a communicative weapon. But I mean, to do that is really surreal and crazy. Because what is the practical long-term result of that? And that's where it just gets crazy, because the long-term result is that they just confess their crimes. On the short run, they can kind of like get more direct and sort of get together and just keep building that system with that evil out in the open. So they get sort of like a short run ease in communication. Like they can actually, from an evil perspective, keep figuring it out more easily because everybody's just open about it. Creating their own subculture, their own... Yeah, it is like, their culture. Really insane, evil, the reversed world culture. But on the long run, like, they're literally just nobody can handle it. Well, eventually, some people will spiritually evolve the ability to be able to handle it and deal with it. It's going to get to the point where it will become encapsulated. The people that surrender to it, become a stooge of it, they will lose faculties and become sick and get all the penalties, because it's a high price to live in the reversed world like that. On the spirit. It takes a big toll. And when you're not really built in a way to be able to handle that, like, that will just literally make you sick and die and shit. So the long-term result is that it's always going to be self-defeating. And you, on an intuitive level, you would know that even at first. Like, it's almost like they even know as they're doing it, but still doing it. It's very surreal. But sometimes it even seems like it's relieving to them, like their confession is relieving. Like they have to tell everybody, because it burdens them not to be honest about it. Which makes you wonder, like, how much time have all of them, those people that are living like that and they're partaking of like political conspiracy against the people and the double speak and mind control and the projection, like, do they really have like seriously arguable justification for themselves? A top-down view, like, no, we're doing this for a really important reason. Because all the reasons that they communicate about what they do, why they do things, are completely incorrect and provably incorrect. And I mean, they literally confess, like, yeah, this nitrogen policy, it's literally useless. Like, it can't even achieve what it's trying to achieve in a simulation. So then, did they know that? But it wasn't about trying to fix the nitrogen situation. They just used it as an excuse to go after farmers, because that is part of like a bigger long-term plan. Turning everything more into a giant city-state, which is what globalists typically love. Like, they love their city-state, sanctuary city type situations, and they become really messy. I mean, just look at New York and all that. What that has done. And these globalist agents always just try to implement that. Make everything into that, because that is like a model that they can deal with the best for some reason. They can keep that under control, like dragons sitting on a hoard of gold or whatever. They like cities, big city-states. It works better for their type of mind control, I guess. Alright, anyway, hope everybody's appreciating it. We're into some complicated talk. And now I'm trying to figure out how to title this thing. Yeah. Might not be exactly correct, but I mean, this is a start though. I call it this the exponential you can't handle the truth mind control system. And just the general knowledge, like there are some things that some people just won't be able to handle. And it's not always the same thing. Some people have things that they completely can't handle, and those specific things are actually really quite common for a lot of people to be able to handle. So what you can't handle has variation out there. Some people are just unusually triggered by certain specific things. I bet there's like statistical research about this sort of thing. That would be amazing. Like subject trigger levels. Statistical percentages, like how many people respond triggered by this subject and that subject and that subject, and like how would the chart of that look like? And like all the different how do you map a spectrum of subjects based on like average triggerability and common versus niche. So it's like low trigger to high trigger, and very common to extremely niche. Like a chart of like all subjects within the square spectrum of that. And then just level of triggerability in percentages. I mean, you could literally make a chart of that. Like you could even like probably let some AI do that very quickly. Right, anyway, hope everybody's appreciating that little bit. I could get into like, oh, I seem to be very triggering with what I talk about, because I tend to talk about a lot of things, a lot of different subjects on a very generalized way, but using my own specific language and spirit mechanics and all that to really give a complete connecting picture as much as possible. And then you have my own ideas, and for some damn reason, every time I have like my own developed ideas that are like outside of the norm, all of them are basically like active attempts to find a way through an in-between thing, like, okay, these are the things that float to the top and there is just a permanent duality going on. Like, okay, it's time to find a way through. And that's what I do. But me persistently having that position and then bringing up some new idea, like you could see that yesterday, like it literally triggers people. There's people, like a whole range of people out there that literally, when I do that, it like triggers them and they get aggressive. They hate it. They think it's completely stupid and useless and like, what? Like, I don't even understand that kind of response to it. Like, I do not understand that kind of trigger. Like, I'm threading outside of the normal framework. Like, I'm finding a way through, digging in between. I'm going off the path to try to create a new path, see if I can find one. And that bothers some people. Maybe some people just fear going off established paths, like they're insecure about it. They just don't want to thread outside of established paths. And I mean, those established paths could even be like in niche communities. But those, yeah, it might literally be about, okay, well, they're talking about this thing, it's a thing with them, and then it becomes comfortable for those types of individuals that have that effect to accept it. But when there's not a community that's just commonly talking about something, then they have a lot of difficulty and resistance against it. And yeah, I will then have that response because I have a lot of ideas that are really niche and surreal. I mean, non-local holographic angular manifestations, right? Not a lot of people that are immediately like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. Like, and so I get that response. Like, you're stupid, I hate you. Because they're not getting a comfortable railroad for that idea. They don't get that, and so they feel like I'm leading them off the path into chaos. That's what I think. I think that that is actually what triggers them. Right? But when I talk about these things, I am not trying to convince people of like my idea. What I'm trying to do instead, really, because I am not trying to convince people. Like, I'm not trying to convince people of non-local holographic angular manifestation. I'm trying to make it explicable. I'm trying to explain it in a way that people will understand the reasoning behind it. To make the bigger picture of it and why snap into place in people's minds. That's what I'm attempting. Not convincing you, like, it is that, and like, no, you have to see it first, and then, when you see it, I will be able to tell, and you can then have your opinion on it, like, yeah, I get it, but I don't think so. And there's people that have responded like that, and those people, like, do not have problems with my ideas at all, and they still have a different opinion. Right. What's this? Right. Yeah, let me add that. That's cool. Alright, the exponential you can handle the truth mind control system and finding a way through without a railroad. Well, that's an esoteric statement. Like purely metaphysical. No, wait, metaphorical. I like to use the word railroad metaphorically. It's very effective because it's all about path. Path you go. Path of train of thinking. I mean, they call it a train of thought. So to use the railroad in that kind of thinking and description is just only logical. Right. Anyway, getting inspired. I mean, is it the coffee? Is it the good weather? I don't know what it is. I think it is also that the world is in bigger motion, because before this year, like everybody has been for years, and maybe even like a decade, there was a distinct difference in energy divisions, the energy balances, because the globalist order was in control, and so there was this constant division, and like we couldn't really do anything about it except focus on ourselves and like deepen, build skill, bit bigger insight, but always on the outside that was there. It's almost like a dome that surrounded everything. But that dome has there's been cracks, and now it's not super consistent anymore. Even though the reversed world magicians are still in there and still rolling out the plan, but I mean the uniformity of it has kind of dissipated. But not of that group, but of the whole. It is dysfunctional, it is faltering at places. So it's not complete anymore. But still tenaciously trying to hold on and re-establishing uniformity. So, and that is a big difference now. That's happening, and all the populists around the world, and then the Trump administration, and whatever you think of that, and they're guilty of attempts of mind control too in their own right, but a different form. At least they're not completely degenerate. They do have certain levels, but it's not perfect either. But at least it's not the death cult in total control kind of setup anymore. So the pressure balances of you and the world Like there is now suddenly some kind of hope out there. And that's very different. I think there is like a potential of a lot of change that could happen. Like re-establishing society. Like re-engineering it based on how things really work. No longer top down, but bottom up and like in revolutionary ways. Because it's necessary, because the old ways of doing things are like, and I'm not talking about family unit, I mean those will like always have great function. I'm talking about just consumer society and labor society. Like there's so many changes out there, technological changes, and like we've all been leaning a lot on the banking system. Like in general, like financial technology has like developed a lot, but it's not as safe anymore. It looks like the entirety of the financial system, like all of it, like they're all starting to like gilding up for a while, conspiring together like the financial guild, instead of like just being purely a humble servant to the state or to the common good. I mean, they still pretend that they are that, but that's more like a business strategy, a public image, rather than what they really effectively do, which is like hopping onto New World Order agendas and bad environmentalist projects. And like, well, the whole carbon credit scheme, I mean, that's a scheme. And it's a banking scheme. They created that. Like it's their little project. So the financial system universally and banking and how that works, they're gilding up and they're turning themselves against the common good. To not be a stabilizing influence, but rather an undermining, seducing influence. And that is just not good, especially because, well, society, people in general, and businesses have now for several decades been leaning heavily upon them, counting on them being good and available and not secretly wanting to fuck you up. And now that they are suddenly not that reliable anymore, it's like that's just super dangerous. It's an unbalance. So, with everything that's happening and like freeing ourselves from the New World Order, which is cool, I mean, it's good, it's a good start. But there is like another problem that's like slightly different, and that is the banking system. And I mean, I'm not against bankers, and I mean, they're just following their rules and they're driven the way they're driven. And I mean, it's very alien to me to even know all these things and then work with that. But there is like a Trotskyite mindset problem, which is like very anti-human, very destructive, that is going around. It was always like here and there with bankers, and it's like they're secret among themselves, like, oh, we're so much better, but then they would keep their Trotskyitism to themselves and not just like roll out policies that amount to that influence, like that. Because that did happen, like under the New World Order, under the previous super liberal administrations, they've done that, and that's terrible. Like, banks shouldn't get political, and they are. They are getting political, and this is bad news. And so, getting governments under control also through political revolutions, you could say, peaceful revolutions, through populism and nationalism, is one step. And then the judges, to truly, like, to unseed, not just unseat, but also unseed, get the seeds out of the ground for globalism to slip back in. And then the final phase, the banking system. The banking system needs to be under control. And like, this is something that Russia really worked out in the early 2000s. Like, they kind of like nationalized the banks. Not literally, like, but they got it really under control to make sure that they don't undermine the national stability. So effectively, they've nationalized them. And I think that that is actually a good thing, because they're not getting the whole Trotskyite influence. Like, the banks there are not like actively trying to fuck up people's culture. Yeah? They are over here. And people complain about it and they keep doing it. Just like the politicians. Right, so there you go. You got it. You got the politicians, judges, bankers. They are the active roles within the globalist order, right? The Marxist, Trotskyite, Jacobin, Jesuit global order that is disintegrating. I mean, it built up around everybody in the world, thinking at first they were good. They kind of came out to be evil, then tried to surround us, like besiege the world, and destabilized and corrupted, lost control, switched to a being upfront and honest kind of system, which has a shock effect and does on the short term stabilize things. But the cracks are already showing. Resistance is mounting, and so it's not gonna last. And then we're gonna have to gradually deal with these three components: the politicians, judges, and the banks. Right? I mean, once you take care of the judges, then so will journalism follow. Because, I mean, if you want to take care of, like, journalism, it's no use, like, going after them. Like, yeah, they might be paid for by an outside organization, like Soros or whatever. But it's really only a problem, like, if there's no good judges. No good judges will crack down on honest free speech that might oppose the Trotskyite type political view, right? Well, you get the hypocrisy that comes out of it, and that's what, like, England's dealing with, and the rest of Europe and Germany really badly. You get this hypocrisy that is because of those judges. That's what's causing that specifically. I should add that to the title too. I mean, why not? 7, the exponential you can't handle the truth mind control system, finding a way through without a railroad, and politicians, judges, and bankers that form the global order network. And the titling is complete. Took me over an hour. So funny, like when I started out the show, I was like, I'm so slow, man. I don't know. But yeah, an hour later, and I'm just rolling like it was always meant to be. And it's so funny how that works out. Right, so I hope everybody's appreciating the show. If you are, then don't forget to Rogan's it up. Maybe say hello in the chat. I mean, Gaining Wisdom said hello in the chat. And that's it. Not complaining. It's just, would be kind of nice if somebody said something. See? Right. What? I don't know. It might be a really hot day where you're at. I'm gonna roll smoke and be on the balcony. I mean, it's really enjoyable now. On the balcony, because it got a bit of shade, but you can also catch sun, and there's like this nice, slow, steady breeze. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself out there and not getting all stressed out and worked up. So just be ashamed. This is actually a great time. It's a time of great opportunity. For the human order. For Team Humanity. Right? But I love Team Humanity. But I also want to, protect the old. Even if, let's just say, a lot of this ancient Tartarian stuff is but they are built by the Nephilim or something. And we don't want to, they are basically Satan or something, right? That might be the reason why it is getting destroyed. I suspect that might be Jesuit behind it. For that reason, we have to erase the temples of the Nephilim because they oppose our God, kind of thing. But it's none of anybody's goddamn business. For them to do that, no, we just want to see what is real and then make up our own mind. Right? And if it's so important, the lesson, that they were the mistake of God and they're so terrible, and then we should learn about their mistakes, right? Mistakes that aren't being recognized and discussed and publicly studied, they will then only intuitively arise again without the wisdom of the past experience to basically help secure it. It will only create it again. This is rudimentary. So stop destroying ancient architecture shit just let's get real, right? And there's always going to be tons and tons of room for inspired, fantastical things, like, or imagination, like, or globe imagination. Like, it doesn't have to go away. It won't go away in ways. It doesn't need to go away. But stop destroying things because they compete with like a specific worldview. You gotta stop destroying those things that conflict. Stop erasing the truth. The truth is God. Literally, you can't. Don't destroy it. Don't destroy information about what happened. You gotta allow it to be. Even if people won't be able to handle the truth, right? I mean, it's kind of too late anyway. Like, there's the internet. Everybody can, when you want, you can just find information about absolutely anything. Tons of you can't handle the truth subjects all over the place. So just stop attempting to preempt ignorance. Like, do preemptive strikes on information before anybody can learn about it. And then we can just hear afterward like how architectural sites and ancient sites have just been destroyed. I mean, this is just super atrocious, and it can never happen again. Like, that can never be allowed to happen again, that sort of thing. Like, it is just a crime against the mind to do that. A crime against truth. It is extremely evil. It is a crime against humanity, but not just because you kill humans, but because you try to kill information that is real. Like, it's real information, it's real things that have happened in the past, a whole bunch of stories that have been built to stand the test of time and then be communicated. To then take that away and destroy it and all that and pretend like it doesn't exist, that is just unbelievably evil. And it's evil in a way that it does actually border like you can't handle the truth. Even though you could logically think like they might be doing it because people can't handle it. It's like, yeah, it's none of their goddamn business. Like, we don't need any group's protection from any truth in the way of them destroying it so that we could never get it. Like, no, absolutely not. Right? Like, I want to know about the Nephilim. I want to know like how that happened, and if they truly went into ruin naturally. They naturally, because of their existence and the way they existed, if that was against God, truly against its will, then the path to ruin should be apparent there and should be communicated. Like, that is the lesson then. It's like, if it's really true, it should be self-explanatory. Like, you should be able to dig into it even scientifically. It's like biology and anything, physics, anything that could be involved, and then prove that it was the wrong course of action to basically do that and have the Nephilim come into existence as they were. You should be able to prove it logically. Like, I want it to be honestly tested. Like, were they truly an abomination to the original creator? Like, were they all super, like, evil and corrupted? Like, those Nephilim that got really energized and powerful, and who knows what they could do. Like, did they think that they were literally God? Would they get megalomaniacal and, like, kill off people without any hesitation for some vague reason? Like, how much were they actually corrupted? Right? Because they are, like, biblically accused. And I want to really know whether that is truly the case, or if it was one gigantic illusionary propaganda effort from the original Catholic Church, from that whole thing that tried to rewrite our history for us. Because the Vatican and the Catholic Church, the theocracy, it started to play politics with spiritual reality. You see? It's what they did. And rewriting our history, using that to shift the story that changes everybody's understanding of things and how they look at it. And maneuvering that process to the point where even, like, the world is a globe in outer space and futurism. Like, all that stuff is also rooted in the Catholic Church. Really. I mean, or rather built on top of it. But the Catholic Church did that by rerouting history and understanding everything. That made futurism eventually possible. Still resting on the background idea of evolution being real, of, like, oh, it all evolved from nothing and technology developed in a certain rate. Saying, like, oh, it's 10,000 years ago was the Stone Age, and people were just going in caves and, like, smashing things with rocks and sticks, and that's it. When the evidence is quite clearly there, even today, even though they do try to destroy a lot, that's just absolute nonsense. And that there's still mysteries about, like, what's going on. Like, how old are some of these buildings? How long ago was that? Have there been many rise and falls of, like, high technology empires and cultures? In other words, what really happened? And what do these supposed Nephilim have kind of place in? What does it mean? Are they really guilty of what they have been accused of by the church, by the theocracy? Right? And you could argue, like, yeah, but dude, I was on the DMT trip one time, and there were, like, these weird multiple-armed blue creatures on the other side, and they were telling us, like, oh yeah, globalism is great, and pronouns, it's all the shit, and get with the plan. And, like, yeah, I get it, but so there's entities then on the other side that people can communicate with, and they're kind of creepy, and they involve themselves with this reversed world mind control system. Right? But are they literally those conscious beings from the past that we would know as the Nephilim, of which there are still temples? Like, how do you know they are? How do you know they're not like the devil on the other side pretending to be them, just claiming all that to be theirs, so they have all this historical amazing weight behind them as they try to convince you to destroy yourself. How do you know they really are the ghosts of the Nephilim that could never move on or something on the other side? How do you know? Even if they would tell you. How do you know they are them and not just something that was there even while those things were alive and building those temples and amazing architecture? How do you know? Hey, Sea Lightning, good to see you. Welcome back. It's forcing me to the beginning of the show. Right. I'm gonna take a little smoke. But yeah, I mean, I want the evidence. I'm just like equal rights for Nephilim. Oh, I've been brainwashed by the Diablo game and all the other propaganda, and I've listened to all the crazy beings on the other side. I'm being influenced, but I mean, or I'm just trying to find a way through, and like, maybe we should have more tangible evidence of what they are before we say, spirit on one side, it claims to be that, it's telling you to destroy themselves. Okay, we're gonna destroy that thing that it claimed to be his because they claim that it's his. But do you have the evidence? Do you have the evidence that they are? Or are they just the devil seducing you to destroy something that you don't understand? In a very complicated way. Are you not being tricked by the devil? Using your arrogance that you can determine what can be destroyed about the past in order to protect the people. In your arrogance. It's just the devil seducing you to do that. In my opinion. In like a metaphysical sense. Like the spirit of it. It's a seduction. You to protect everybody by destroying something you don't understand. Just because it has things to tell about it that give you a picture of what that is, and you are convinced by that story you got from the entity, doesn't mean that they were right. Alright. I can't add this to the title, it's too big. Alright, hope you're liking the show. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you are.
Matthew van Berg Groente en Fruit. Ik heb een berg dagverse groente en fruit.
Oh, lekker.
Ja, die is lekker over de weg gevallen. Dus die dagverse lading kan ik wel gedag zeggen.
Oeh, nou gelukkig ben je bij Centraal Beheer verzekerd tegen zakelijke risico's.
Oh, mooi. Nou, dat maakt mijn dag weer. Kan ik weer fruit
Een foutje als ondernemer kan gebeuren. Gewoon even Apeldoorn bellen. Wij helpen je zakelijke risico's te verzekeren. Centraal Beheer.
Well, today certainly turned into an interesting show. I think, at least. Things to consider. Is anybody else having issues with Rumble always starting at the start? See, Lightning seems to have that problem. At least he's not weirdly, erroneously banned, which like wasn't in the block list. So that happened yesterday. Rumble is acting a bit weird. Probably had some updates that can bring issues. I mean, to me, it's just working fine. Like, it's not skipping to the beginning, for me at least. Alright, I think I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I'll be right back. Let's see where this show goes from here. Hope everybody appreciated it. Don't forget to Rogan's it up if you did. Hey, what's that? Ah. Well done, sea lightning. Hey, Nazis have cloned high-ranked people worldwide, replaced the original. Okay. I don't know about that cloning thing, though. They never lost. Yeah, no, but yeah, Illuminati. You could argue that, I mean, the whole thing is just like historically warped anyway. But yeah, maybe this globalist order is like also kind of continuing the Nazi plan, but with some addendums to it, becoming way more Trotskyite. I mean, I don't think Hitler would have ever agreed to this. He would have never approved. Too quick. See, lightning's quick. Right, but I mean, you could also think of as the Nazis as they were probably in their own way like trying to be the new nobility. What does that mean? Well, it means new ways of being a top-down controller, where the old nobility was kind of just like feudalist typically. The Nazis like just wanted it to be more oligarchical with more mind control. Different forms, more socialist-based mind control with futurism. So it's like they tried to replace nobility, kind of just like the Russian Revolution, right? They killed off the nobility, the Soviet Revolution, and so they all just kind of like tried to become the new nobility, take out the old, and then become that in a new way. And the globalist order of these days, they're basically still riding on that idea. That can work. Or something like that will lose any sleep over Adolf just being Adolf. What? No. No, but Klaus probably looks at that completely different. He knows, like, oh, the general public is taught to Hitler bad, but he'll have, like, very unadapted perspectives on that and say like, no, he just attempted to do what we're doing, except he got too militaristic and then it didn't work. So we're doing it this way now. That's probably what he thinks like. Right, anyway, I hope you appreciated the show, Killuminati. Been very inspired and all that after like the first 15 minutes up until 1 hour 30 mark, pretty much. But now I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of done laying it down. Darth Vader moved back in the shadow. Is that what you're calling him? You're calling Klaus Schwab Darth Vader? I don't think he's very intimidating. Doesn't really have that flair of Darth Vader. Doesn't have the voice. But yeah, I mean, he has kind of retreated, but he's also just being accused of fraud and all that, so he's kind of in trouble. I mean, the World Economic Forum is kind of like exposed itself through confession. And the tides have changed, the winds have turned. That's a nickname that kind of stuck. Yeah, I guess. I mean, he really tried to be like the emperor and all that with that ridiculous dress he had that one time. He certainly tried to fit that image, but I mean, he's just delusional, and he doesn't have any personal power like that. Like, they don't have like a dark force kind of power. These people like don't have their faculties. Right, and that's like the Jacobin trait. It's like self-delusion. Because that's what Jacobins really were all about. It's all about delusion, self-delusion, giving delusional stories to people that really like that and that want that alternative reality. They want something to escape into, and they become addicted to it, and then you use them and you mind control them to do whatever you want. Like programmable goblins. But the people that would do that would also be delusional about themselves. And that's like the Jacobins in a nutshell. And the New World Order, a lot of these people in there do have that kind of a trait to them. That's why they are also a Jacobin global order. Right? And I mean, the Jacobins worked relatively well back then because there was no internet. So you could more easily compartmentalize and lie with how people were thinking. You tell one story to one group, another story to another. They conflict, but you can manage. But because of the internet, everybody gets to see everything. And that really conflicts with the functionality of the Jacobin mind control delusion system. You just get to see how delusional they are and what they're actually doing, and so it just doesn't work. The Jacobin mind control system requires low communication technology. Right, so that at best you'd have to stop people from visiting certain places, or intercept messengers, mail messengers, and then it could work with effort, with control of the Secret Service and everything. But with the internet being there, it just doesn't work, man. It just does not work, and thank God for that. Jacobian, not Jacobian? What? I don't know about that. You need to see it. Also, but in general, they're called Jacobins. So, right, enough about that. It is what it is. Hello, Bramley? Who are you? Welcome to the Early Bird Show. Hope people are appreciating the show. Don't forget to Rogans it up if you are. All that confusion was so unnecessary. I don't know. They deposited there in the last few days. It's kind of spread out and you can barely see it. Alright, so it's just a beautiful day. Everything is really bright and sunny. I was on the balcony smoking a bit and was like just that summer feel already. Rosemary plant is enjoying it. Birds are enjoying the bath. The water. Oh wait. None of them have taken a bath just yet. They're just drinking now. Right. So it is Thursday, the 1st of May. So March. '25. Temperature is 26 degrees Celsius. And that's a worthy summer's day kind of heat. And I am here in my shorts and on my sandals, so yeah, makes sense. Like long trousers in this weather is like just not pleasant. So, right, 39% humidity, 10 kilometers an hour wind, 0% precipitation, 14 at night. It's gonna be a warm night too. Just like a typical summer's day. So it's like an early midway springtime summer's day. Yeah. And it will get a bit cooler according to the prediction. 23 tomorrow, then 17 on Saturday, and then 11 on Sunday. Jesus. With rain and all that, so I think they're gonna like aim for a rainstorm or whatever this weekend. And then it's gonna stay a lot cooler. According to the prediction, at least. I mean, we'll see if that actually happens though. But that is that would be a pretty abrupt temperature change, not very pleasant. create some headaches. At least with me it will. Right, anyhow. Ugh. Warm day. Still gonna take the coffee. Let's hope I don't get overheated, because that is what typically tends to happen in the summer. But I haven't had like a heat rush from it just yet. So, cheers. Right, anyway, yesterday turned into a pretty interesting show, I thought. Oh, maybe I was just a little bit scattered. So all the trolls were all unbanned. But I mean, yeah, whether trolls will get unbanned or they just start making new sock accounts, it doesn't really matter too much. They're gonna get in my face anyhow. So I'll live. I'm used to it. Right, and of course the hint that could lead to understanding the non-local holographic angular manifestations of the celestials. Though I haven't actually dug far enough into it just yet. Gonna have to talk some more about it and watch some videos. Not really eager to do that kind of video watching just yet. I'll get there. Some interesting, more other developments coming out of like the whole Trump presidency, what Kennedy's doing and all that. And so it gives the feel that they are starting to accelerate a little bit. It's getting more interesting, gradual. So yeah, that's just kind of steady in a way. Oh yeah. Finished that A Discovery of Witches review. Because I finished that series. And I thought it was really interesting, although there were just some things about it that are just kind of weird. And there's like a weird moral dubious thing that's going on, which is like quite logical really with the subject of like vampires being involved and all that. So yeah, I don't know. It's not really flowing today. Maybe I should drink some more water or something. I might be getting slightly dehydrated during the mornings, because it already gets pretty warm in the morning when it's weather like this. Maybe taking a sip of water occasionally. Yeah, I could go with the mint tea, but that's also you're always here. Just don't have much to say. Oh, okay. Too bad. But I guess that maybe you're just kind of in a silent phase or something, because I've had like interesting back and forth conversations with you. In the past, you did ask me a couple of really interesting questions. But I mean, at your own pace, I guess. First of May is today. It's interesting. Like, I do feel really, like, physically, I feel actually like way better than I have, like, say, last week. I wonder what it is. I've had all these like sore muscles and things, and now today I feel like way more flexible somehow. I mean, I'm glad of it. It was a bit of a nuisance. But I mean, I always got some kind of damn issue in April. April for me every year is always complicated. Something happens, like unexpected, irritating shit happens, and then I tend to get like panicked over it without any logical reason. It's just that it's in the air. I'm more sensitive, and then it happens, and it's always something in damn April. So I'm glad I got through that. Now I just have to get through May. And in order to do that, any support would be greatly appreciated through PayPal, Patreon, or the Gift Send Go, links in the description box below, or somebody just could still send me a super chat. That would be amazing. Right? Or subscribe to my channel. Like any support, guys. I know times are tough out there financially, but I mean, yeah, I'm feeling that. And if you like what I do, then it would be great if you could help me out. Like, I am really doing my best here to like keep the show entertaining and, well, especially educational. That's always been my objective, and I know it's mixed results, and sometimes I'm just kind of in a rut or whatever. But I always do end up back with something interesting. Eventually. And my ideas do have progression over time. knows, maybe somewhere this year I will get the opportunity to get a job. It'd be pretty interesting to try that. Right, because I am actually soliciting, but it's just I'm not getting responses, and I mean, with half of these jobs I'm applying for, I wonder if I am even like capable of doing it. But I mean, you gotta just try. Just trust that I'll find a way to balance it out, and if it's just too much, if they ask too much right away, well then I'll just not make it. And then, yeah, too bad. But I'll be trying. I gotta, because I have trouble getting around financially. Right? But if I get lucky enough to actually get a whole apartment to myself, then that would greatly help my financial situation. And, I don't know, enable me to potentially do something like a little bit of goldsmithing on the side. That would be great. But just like having a better financial setup would just be great, and I need like my own, doesn't have to be big, but still apartment, so that I can stop using the storage, like have all my stuff in the apartment. And then financially it will just work out way better. Right, but yeah, trying to get an apartment here in the city right now, with it's just endless lines, and it's a big problem throughout the Netherlands. And I mean, as long as like the migration influx keeps getting pushed, it's gonna stay difficult to get in. Like, even if you've been applying for an apartment for like 10 years, which I have by now. Right, but who knows where it'll go. I really hope I will get lucky, because I mean, I find this a beautiful place. I like the look, like I like looking outside it. I like the area, but financially it's just not really doable. Anyway, I'm gonna take another 2-minute break, and then I'll be right back, and don't go anywhere. Over 2 hours again. I don't know how I do it. Like, some days it's been like this succession of shows that were like just a little over an hour. Remember that? But now it's going back to like, oh, another 2 hours. Huh. It's just happening again. I hope you all enjoy it. Any feedback would be great. About the content, the subjects that I talk about, of course. Ooh. Okay. That's weird. Looks like James O'Keefe. The gay honeypot guy. I mean, he's like uncovering some brilliant stuff. It's hilarious too. But I mean, he's apparently now really worried about his life. So he's not committing suicide. I mean, hope he's alright. I think he might be freaked out by that Epstein victim the other day that supposedly suicided themselves, even though they explicitly disclaimed that not even that long before. So yeah. Hope nothing happens to James O'Keefe. See my rosemary plants. It's getting big. Very bushy branches. Like, some of these leaves are just huge. 3 centimeters long. Yeah, that thing, it's enjoying itself. Alright, I'm gonna round out the show. There's a lot of activity left, and I've discussed like everything about this subject already. So thanks everyone for coming. I hope you liked this show. If you did, then please don't forget to Rogan's it up. And if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are in the description box below, or send me a super chat over at the Rumble live chat, or subscribe to my channel. I could really use the support. Please support your local Arwin. That would be great. I can't keep doing this without just being continually distracted with money worries. Alright, anyhow, I'll be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2278 on a Friday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great day. Hope you got weather like this too. Enjoy it. And yeah, until the next video, keep it flat.
Shadows protecting his fellows from sun up to the moon on his back. Send the villains to Hades, a hit with the ladies, a stallion in the sack. You can't get your laugh back when right follows left, Jack. The more you see, the less you know. When others would leak it, his service, his secret place. Godwin, it's your time to go. Country safe and sound with villains 6 feet underground, and no one knows, cause no one's found any trace of a man for all seasons. Loves him and leaves him alone, so alone. And you and I wouldn't have a clue who's doing what, why, when and who. Up a creek with no canoe, watch out for the man for all seasons. Loves him and leaves him alone, so alone.